Hey guys, Mr. Vickers here. I wanted to share with you guys something that might help us pass the time while we're away. I'm doing my best to send out as much alternative activities just to keep you guys occupied. I think it's really, really important while we're away to kind of stay busy. One of the things that my students last year really, really enjoyed doing was creating a podcast. So I wanted to take a couple minutes and just show you how to do that and tell you a little bit about what that means. But the whole point of this, because I can't really grade anything, I can't require anything. I'm just trying to give suggestions for anything to pass the time and any way that we can share what we're doing, communicate with each other. I think is going to be pretty helpful for the next couple of weeks. So the goal of creating a podcast, really all you're trying to do is just tell a story. You can explain the topic, prompt a discussion over something you find interesting. But the beauty of a podcast, as opposed to writing a paper or posting something on social media, is there's a lot more room for creativity. And there's a couple of fun apps that we can use to just play around with that. Right? So some of the potential topics of a podcast, really it's just like a voice recording where you could just tell your own personal story, especially now being able to share our stories with others. I think a lot of people would appreciate hearing what you guys have to say. And if you're cooped up, this is a perfect opportunity to share out anything that you've got on your mind. So podcasts are also great for describing like a recent discovery. I listen to a lot of science and history podcasts that just kind of go into some lesser known facts about the subjects that I find fascinating. Also, podcasts are a great place to explain both sides of a topic or a debate. There's certainly a lot of stuff in the news you can pick from today. Also, just being able to discuss any topic with your friends. Some of the best podcasts I listen to involve just a bunch of idiots sitting around making each other laugh. And I think that's fantastic. So if you've got something funny to say, I'm pretty sure we'd all appreciate hearing from you. But really, if you could teach us something about something that you find interesting, something you feel like we should know, this is just another great creative platform as opposed to posting something angry on social media. You could have a pretty informed discussion about it. So there you go. I wanted to show you guys the primary app that my students have used for creating a podcast. It's called Anchor. It's free. You don't have to download anything. You can get an app on your phone for it, which is kind of nice. But other than that, you can just use any basic computer with a camera or a microphone feature. Actually, no, you don't need a camera because this is all over radio. So, but the best thing to do if you go to anchor.com, sign up using a TK email. I can show you what that looks like. Okay, so when you, yes, leave. All right, so when you log in to Anchor, you can see I've already made an account. So once you've done that, you're just going to go to create new episode. And this is basically the your toolbox here. You've got a section where you record audio. This is going to be your library where you can keep all of your audio clips to trim and use for later. And then here are some transitions, which I'll get into in a moment. But let's say if we want to start something, you can default with your computer's microphone. We've also found out that there we go. iPod headphones that have the old school jack. These microphones actually work pretty well. They work a little bit better than the ones on your laptop. So you don't have to go fancy. Anything will do, but we'll just kind of show you how easy it is. So I'll just start recording. Okay, so once I've got that rolling, let's see if it'll work. Here you go. Okay, so that's all set. Let's say I want to add that to my podcast. You just click and drag it onto where you need it. But let's say I've got, this is something I recorded a while ago. Let's say that I've got a long piece of dialogue and maybe I've recorded something and I get interrupted or sidetracked, or maybe there's a portion of the clip that I just don't want to use. But the one thing that I do want to say, like sweet potatoes are much better than regular potatoes. Okay, let's say that there's a piece in there that I really, really want to use, but the rest of it isn't as good. All right, so I'm going to, I think that was the one that I just made. I'll click and drag it on over. And then once it's, you can see that it's processing now. Once it's all processed, then you can actually edit it and you can remove stuff that you don't want. So I can split it into multiple fragments, right? So okay, so let's say I want to get that last piece in. So I'm just going to move there, make sure. Yeah, okay. So I will, whoa, that's not what I want, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do that, save and split. Okay, so once I've got that all set, notice that it's split it up into 2 segments. So that original post that I had is now in 2 different pieces. All right, so if that's the piece I want to use and I want to get rid of that other bit, I'll just remove it from the episode. Voila. The most fun you can have, I think, with this program is the transitions. So the transitions are just all these little sounds that you can add right in. Sweet. So you can add those in the middle of stuff. You can also add intro music, it looks like. Bongos. Okay. Sweet. All right. So let's say I like that intro, and I've got all of my clips here. Obviously, yours are going to be longer and a little better. But I'm just going to go ahead and start from the beginning. You can actually hear your whole recording. So. There you go. All right. So since you've got the whole thing done, let's say you really, really like it, you just go to save the episode. You can give it a title. Oops. And some little, I don't know, little bitty. You go ahead and publish it. Once it's made, you can, sponsorships. Ugh. I have a sponsor waiting. Whatever. Okay, cool. Let's get to it. Anyways, so if I go back and I don't want to pay you. If I can go back to my, why won't you let me go? Here we go. Whoops. All right. So here's my piece. I've got, you can, I think you can bet it, you can copy the link and you can just email it to somebody. But here's your final episode, which is kind of neat. So if you guys choose to make something, I encourage you to please share it with me. I would love to hear from you. If you need any tips or tricks, I try to condense everything that I just said into this Google Doc here that just kind of goes over the overview. And here's some, I don't know, tips for getting started. There's also some resources that NPR released last year. I would encourage you guys to kind of take a look at these, but these are great if you need any help getting started. If you're interested in listening to podcasts, or if you found something that you think I might enjoy, please let me know. I'd love to give you guys my recommendations, and I'd love to hear yours because we've got plenty of downtime. And the more I can hear from you, the happier I'll be. So with that, I will leave you to it, and please let me know if you guys have any questions. Other than that, have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you guys very soon.